to be more likable, win friends, influence people, get picked first for every game at recess, just generally be the most popular kid in the school cafeteria? Yeah, not everyone cares if they're perceived as likable. And it's not like it's easy for everyone to be naturally charming and magnetic. Because if you're anything like me, you're anxiously overthinking every conversation and encounter you've ever had in your entire life, even years later, because that natural charm just eludes you, as it does me. And I'm just awkward. But here's the thing. Being likable isn't just about natural charm. It's about small, intentional habits that make people want to be around you. And the best part is that you don't even have to fake it. So if you're looking to boost your likability without selling your soul in the process, here are 10 super simple things you can do, according to acclaimed psychologist and friend of YourTango, Guy Winch. 1. Be a better listener. Nobody likes a one-upper. You know, those people who hear your story and immediately follow up with something bigger and better because obviously that's what they do. And I know. I have ADHD and all I want to do is interrupt everyone and tell them things. It's so hard not to be that guy. Instead though, you should actually listen. What a concept. Nod, react, ooh, ah, say, oh wow, or that's crazy, or something else appropriate to the situation, because people like to feel heard. Imagine that. 2. Be supportive. If someone tells you they worked all weekend, don't hit them with the, well, that's why you make the big bucks. They don't want to hear that. No, just say, that sucks. I'm sorry. People appreciate validation. They don't want a stand-up routine, so okay, judgy, I'll keep that improv to a minimum. And if someone tells you something that they achieved, congratulate them. If they tell you something upsetting, offer sincere sympathy. Just reply honestly and openly. They'll appreciate it. I know I do when people do that for me. 3. Follow up. If someone tells you about an upcoming exam, you can ask them how it went after the fact. Maybe your coworker has a sick kid. You can ask them how they're feeling now. It might be a small thing, but it sticks because it shows that you actually care about someone else. You were paying attention to them and you were thoughtful enough to bring it up later, which can earn you significant likability points. 4. Find common ground. People like people who are like them. So when you meet someone new, ask questions or make observations and search for those shared interests. Music, TV shows, movies, fashion, hobbies, mutual hatred of slow walkers. Anything that creates a connective tissue between you works. So if you appreciate pugs and enjoy obscure British 90s indie pop music, the more obscure the better, hit me up. We'd probably get along. 5. Use good body language. Eye contact, a firm, non-limp fish handshake, a genuine smile, and an open posture go a long way. Basically, don't just stand there with your arms crossed, looking like a bouncer at a club. Even though we tend to notice a person's body language more unconsciously than consciously, we still notice it, and it adds to our impressions of a person's likability. 6. Put your phone away. I know, I love to dissociate with my phone at all times. But what if there's breaking news? What if something happens and I miss it? Here's the thing. When you're mid-conversation and sneak a glance at your phone, you're signaling, this is more interesting and or important than you. And nobody wants that. Nobody likes it. They don't want to feel like they're less important. So even if their phone is out, put yours away and be present. I'm challenging you to do this, as well as myself. 7. Don't complain. So we all love a good vent session, but balance is key. 1 or 2 complaints, totally fine. But a full monologue about your boss, the subway, and how oat milk tastes different at every coffee shop, you might want to dial it back a bit. Coming across as more likable means making an effort to present a somewhat more positive outlook, even if you're not in the best mood at the moment. Be positive, but still try to be authentic. You can discuss things about which you can sound positive, even when you feel like a giant, whiny, grumpy pants and you are having the worst day ever. I can always find something, for example, positive to say about my dogs, so if I default to that topic of conversation, just nod your head. 8. Don't dominate the conversation. Yes, you might actually have the best story in the world, but if you're the only one talking, people will start mentally drafting their grocery lists. So, share the stage. People notice imbalances in the conversation and register them unfavorably, even if they might seem to enjoy your stories at the time. 9. Skip the humble brag. If you got promoted, that's amazing. But if you go to someone and say, "Oh, I hate being the youngest director in my company, it's so much pressure," that's not humility, that's a humble brag, and people see right through it. You don't need to constantly name drop, share all of your biggest success stories, highlight your impressive social media following, or anything like that to let people know how awesome you are. They'll just sense it. 10. Pick your battles. You don't really need to tell someone that their favorite movie is trash, even if it's super tempting and you have reasons why their favorite movie is trash. If you must disagree, do it lightly unless you know that other person really, really well. No one wants you to jump in and play devil's advocate because it's just really annoying and nobody likes the devil's advocate. As we've already pointed out, people like people who agree with them and who are like them. It's just human nature. Being likable isn't about being born with charisma, although it doesn't hurt. And you don't need to fake anything to get people to like you. Rather, it's about making people feel heard, respected, and comfortable. And guess what? You don't have to be a social butterfly for that. You just need to be someone who actually listens, supports, and connects. I know I'm going to push myself to listen with more intention, follow up with people, and put my stinking phone away and focus on the person and the conversation. Why don't you also go ahead and give these 10 things a try and see what happens?